Welcome, one and all, to 88.9 FM The Cage. This is the voice of the people. I'm your host, Surly M.
And your co-host, Youngblood.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy student lives to have a listen to the voice of the people. We only talk about the things that are important to you, play some good tunes. Usually we have a theme every week. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited for this week's episode.
I am too.
Yeah?
Yes.
So, you may or may not be aware, maybe for reasons unbeknownst to us, you tried to block yesterday out of your memory, but it was Valentine's Day, right?
That's correct.
February the 14th, the day nationally celebrated where we tell each other just how much we care for one another. I think it's a good holiday. Some people may disagree. We're going to talk about various perspectives on Valentine's Day on today's episode, aren't we?
That's right. And I heard a lot of students here at Snow College calling it Singles Awareness Day.
Singles Awareness Day, yeah, I've heard that one. I had a teacher call it Suicide Prevention Day. That's pretty good.
That was good. I saw at the GSC they had the sweet or salty buffet or something. You go and fondue.
Yeah, I stopped by there for just a little bit. I was on my way somewhere else. Looks like there were a lot of people there, though, well attended.
I didn't actually get to see it, but I heard it was, well, good turnout.
Yeah, they had like a fondue bar, and you could make like your own buttons or whatever.
Make a cute little button.
No, I just grabbed some food and left. Because, as we'll discuss later, I had, proper celebrations planned for the evening.
You had to get to.
So yeah, I had to get to. I needed to prepare for. But we'll discuss that all in due time. Let's give our listeners a little preview about what we can expect on the show today.
Yes. Well, as you all know, yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Yeah, as mentioned.
And we thought we'd do a little Valentine's Day episode. We seem to be having a holiday theme each time there's a holiday coming around.
Of course.
So, I'm pretty excited about this one. We're going to have a couple guests on, and they did confirm they will be on.
Yes. No more empty promises.
Season.
No more broken hearts. Which is fitting considering the theme. Anyway, so in a few minutes here, we're going to have our first guest, which is a friend of yours, right?
That's correct. A friend from high school, Garrett Harris. He's going to talk to us about what his Valentine's Day was like as a single man.
Currently he's single.
He
Okay,
is single.
Yeah.
Later on in the show, we will have Surly M discuss some of his experiences as a taken man dating right now.
Yes. Something to look forward to, for sure.
And then, later in the show, our final guest will be another friend from high school that we'll have over the phone by the name of Mr. Wyatt DeGooyer. He has been married for about 8 months now. 8 months.
Okay, married man, so just getting into it.
We're going to see what his first Valentine's Day was like, first go-around for marriage.
Awesome. Not a lot of female representation on our panel here today. We apologize for that. But
maybe Brittany can call in.
No, she would hate that.
Brittany, if you're listening, I really suggest that you call in.
Anyway, we got varying perspectives on the holiday from, three standard positions of romantic status. And it'll be interesting to see the comparisons, I think.
That's right. And as always, we appreciate listener involvement, and we want to know how your Valentine's Day went. Let's hear your experiences. You can call us at 435-283-7007. You can even text us. You can text KAGE to 66746 with your experience. We also appreciate it when you like us on Facebook and make your comments at the Voice of the People.
Totally. And if you're not into the whole listening to us talk thing, don't worry. I got a whole playlist of romantic tunes keyed up for you to listen to throughout the day. So be looking forward to those.
Yes. Well, I think we just leave them on a little cliffhanger before Garrett comes on.
Oh, totally. We're going to try and get our guest over the phone here real quick. We're going to take it to break. When we come back, a little more discussion on what being single on Valentine's Day is like.
That's right. You're listening to the Voice of the People.
Here on 88.9 FM, The Cage. And we're back here on the Voice of the People. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
This is the Valentine's Day episode. We're having a lot of fun talking about the various aspects of Valentine's Day, and we have a very special treat for you right now.
That's right. We have a very special guest from my high school career friend, Garrett Harris. He's joining us on the air right now. How are you, Garrett?
My name's Garrett.
Garrett, good to hear from you. How was your Valentine's Day?
Oh boy, it was the best. Yep, that's about it. It was the best. I'm just kidding. It was pretty good. Woke up, went to the gym. Kind of mad because there wasn't a lot of girls there. I think they were probably busy doing something else. But sometimes you just gotta live like that. I went to the DI. I thought, you know what? It's Valentine's Day. No one's gonna buy me anything. Maybe get myself a couple of things. I went to the DI. Got myself 3 shirts and a good pair of pants that I also found out are women's pants now. But they're good, so I'm keeping them.
How did you find out they were women's pants?
How did I find women's pants?
How'd you find them, and how'd you find out they were women's pants?
They were in the men's section of the DI, and then when I was putting on the pants, the button was on the left side, and they were a little tight in some certain areas, so I was like, but they fit me good, so.
Wow.
Now, I got all that for $15.
$15 at the DI.
What a Valentine's Day deal.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Garrett, he is a avid shopper of DI, and what's the other one you like? Savers?
That's why I'm probably single on Valentine's Day.
All right, I like it. Okay. So let me ask you this, Garrett. On Valentine's Day, Single Awareness Day, did you enjoy being single on this day, or was it depressing?
Okay, well, I don't go and ask you personal questions, Braxton, so that's way off. Well, here's the honest truth. I'm a church man.
Okay.
I go to church, and it sometimes sucks when I see the couple in front of me and they're scratching each other's back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Does that just get you going?
And I've just always wanted that in someone to scratch my back. It's not the same when a boy is scratching your back. They don't have as good as nails. It's in our genes. But sometimes you just want a good scratch on the back from a woman. Other than that, what was the question again?
Did you enjoy being single on Valentine's Day, or was it disappointing?
I enjoyed it. I'm not a big Valentine's goer. My father, he's never showed love towards my mom, so I don't grow up thinking like, oh, I really want that. Also, I have a lot of annoying friends. I have girlfriends that have wives, and I think that's the main reason why they are so annoying, because all they can talk about is, oh, my wife, she's funny, and we have inside jokes, and I don't know them because I'm not, a part of their jokes ever. Anyways, I did enjoy my Valentine's Day. I played some good games with my friend Alan Christiansen.
Okay.
We played games. We talked about, just important things like what's that on the bottom of my shoe, or why does paper in the rectangular form at times and sometimes in the other form. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it sounds like it's just like any other day, and maybe even a little more annoying than some other days, right?
It really was just like any other day. I avoided all social media so I didn't have to see everybody's goo-goo pictures of them pretending to love each other. Even though I hate to sound like I'm a really ignorant person, but I'm just being honest. This is Wednesday.
Garrett, that's what we appreciate here on the show.
This is Garrett's Wisdom of Wednesday.
Garrett's Wisdom
That's my
of Wednesday.
wisdom for Wednesday.
Yes. Garrett, would you mind sharing the story of when you asked that girl to prom, I believe that was our junior year. And we all asked you, Garrett, why would you keep dating her? Why do you keep asking her out on dates? Why do you take her to the prom? What did you say?
you go to Snow College? Because I don't want to...
No.
I don't want to get any bad terms. But
You're free to say as you will.
yeah, this is the first thing, dude. It's kind of your fault. I didn't want to be with this girl. You knew her more than I knew her. And so everybody's like, dude, Garrett, there's this girl that likes you and thinks you're cute. I'm like, oh, wait, that doesn't happen a lot. I was like, okay. So I met her. I took her to the dance. Are you talking about the one that I'm talking about?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Alrighty, and we all had this goal to kiss the girl, and we all did it, and I kissed her, and then I took her on one more date. I don't know, I think she took me to like a free jazz game or something like that. And then when we were on my doorstep, she's like, hey, so what are we? I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And she's like, oh, well, I mean, we've been on dates and stuff, and we kissed. Maybe you should be my boyfriend. And, you know, when you're put in that position, like, what are you supposed to say? I was just like, yeah, totally. Are we not like boyfriend, girlfriend already? She's like, oh, okay. I was like, what did I do? And then when I went to bed that night, I was like, oh, no, this is not what I wanted. And so, I mean, that turned out to be hell for me, to be honest. I just didn't enjoy it. Remember when we went mini golfing that one time?
Oh, yes. How could I forget that?
Yeah.
Can you,
that wasn't fun.
Can you tell our listeners about that?
Let's say that again, sorry.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit more about mini golf?
I don't remember mini golf. I remember I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it?
I didn't enjoy it. And then I kissed her on her doorstep, and her lips were dry. So I was just like, double whammy.
The lose-lose.
So, Garrett, for the sake of our listeners, what would you tell any other single people who may be struggling with their relationship status on Valentine's Day, who maybe hate being single on Valentine's Day? What would you say to them?
What would I say to them? I would say, you know, don't rush anything. I mean, there's no point to rush into a relationship. I mean, once you find that person, you'll know. And sometimes it's also good to date some people that maybe you're not totally in love with, but it's good to get some practice in as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I'm tight on money. I mean, I'm not tight on money, but I don't like spending money.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, I mean, if you're not doing so well financially, I would say maybe you find a girl that's okay with, like, McDonald's every night,
Okay.
or her maybe buying once in a while, maybe all the dates. But I mean, for those sort of things, I mean, just keep your head up. There's always next year, no rush, and there's always, you know, internet.
Of course. Good advice. Thank you.
I mean, like, internet for, like, dating websites and stuff.
Yeah, we understood you, Garrett. You're good. Well, Garrett, we really appreciate you coming on The Voice of the People and letting our listeners know what it's like to be single on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Right on.
Thank you guys for having me, and I hope to talk with you guys soon.
Oh, we would love to have you again.
Oh, totally.
All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later.
See you
man.
later.
Awesome. That was our buddy Garrett calling in, talking about his experience as a single person on Valentine's Day. We're going to take it to break real quick. When we come back, I thought maybe we could discuss a little bit the history of St. Valentine's Day, how it got associated with love and romance, things like that. And maybe I'll share a little bit of my experiences on the blessed day of St. Valentine's. How does that sound?
That sounds great. And we'll also recap the interview with Garrett. All these things right after the break. You're listening to The Voice of the People.
Here on 88.9 FM, The Cage. We'll be right back. And we're back here on The Voice of the People. I'm Surly M.
And I'm Youngblood.
You're listening to 88.9 FM The Cage. Thank you so much for joining us on The Voice of the People. We just got done with an interview with one of our good friends, Garrett. How'd that go, Youngblood?
I thought he was pretty good. That's the first guest we've had this season. this semester.
Yeah, it's true.
And I was impressed by his ability to celebrate Single Awareness Day with pride.
Yeah, he gave us a really interesting perspective on Valentine's Day as a single person. And yeah, it was just interesting to listen to.
A story that I was trying to get him to go into, but he didn't expand too much on, was when he was dating this girl that he took to prom.
Right.
We were all very confused on why he was dating this girl because, as he said, he wasn't that into her.
Mm.
And we asked him, Garrett, why are you dating this girl? And he said, guys, let me tell you through a song. And he proceeded to sing What Is Love to us.
I thought you said it was I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner.
That's right, it was I Want to Know What Love Is. Okay, I don't know why I get those two confused. But yes, I Want to Know What Love Is.
Both have love in the title.
Yes. But it was good. One of the classic moments with Garrett. I could share many stories with him. Glad that he was able to join us on the show.
I'll tell you what, we'll play I Want to Know What Love Is a little bit later. So we can all get a refresher on what it sounds like.
How'd you think it went?
I thought Garrett was a very good guest. He was very lively, very funny. Enjoyed having him on. And sounded like he is not a big fan of being single on Valentine's Day. Wanted a little companionship. But, you know, as he said, keep your chin up, wait for the right person, and don't rush anything.
You know, I
think
liked
that's sound advice.
I liked what he mentioned about the acrylic nails when the girls scratch your back.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
Nothing like it on the surf, I'll tell you what.
It's not the same when your brother or your friend does it. You know, it's got to have that woman's touch.
True that. Before we get into our next portion, I thought we might briefly discuss the history of Valentine's Day. I was doing a little research on this.
Okay.
Like a lot of holidays, it's let's see, it's a feast holiday based in Western Christian liturgical tradition.
Wait, it's a feast, doesn't?
It was originally a feasting holiday, you know, like St. Valentine's Day or the Feast of St. Valentine, celebrating the saint Valentinus.
Okay.
He was a saint back in the day, and he was actually martyred on February 14th, so that's why people remember him on that day.
Okay.
Apparently he was ministering to Christians that were being persecuted under the Roman Empire, and he was convicted for that and executed. But apparently before he did that, he left, you know, according to legend, he left a note signed, you know, your Valentine. And eventually he became associated with love and romance, and it wasn't later until the 14th century when he kind of became the patron saint of romance and all that. And people started celebrating the feasting day, you know, by giving each other, you know, gifts and flowers and things like that. And it just evolved from there. And now to the point today where it's totally associated with love and romance.
All right.
So yeah,
There you have it, the history of Valentine's Day.
originally a saintly feasting holiday. Now,
You know, whatever happened to that? Why can't we have more of that for those single people, you know?
feasting holidays?
That's right.
Yeah.
But make Valentine's Day more of a feasting holiday instead of a love
that'd be
holiday.
nice. Well, I guess technically it is a feasting holiday where you're just eating a lot of chocolate and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sugared out.
Yeah, that's right. You had a birthday recently. Happy birthday to Youngblood, everybody.
Thank you. Yes.
And you received a lot of goodies.
I did. We had some banana cream pie, chocolate cake, caramel brownies. I received another chocolate
Yeah,
cake.
some friends made you cake.
Yeah, a lot of cake.
Yeah, in combination with Valentine's Day, though you didn't receive too many goodies yesterday. But we'll discuss that a little bit later.
That's right, we will.
Hopefully we can fit all this into the hour left we have in the program. I'm just so excited.
Real quick, I want to follow up on my commitment from last week.
Oh, that's right. We were discussing the perks and downsides of living in small town Ephraim. One of which was discussed at length was the lack of fast food chain restaurants here.
That's correct.
And what did you promise to do, Youngblood?
I promised our listeners that I would personally write an email to Taco Bell to persuade them to put a location here in Ephraim.
And did you do that?
I did. Unfortunately, I have yet to hear from them, but I did mark the box that said, please respond. So
Well, they have to respond now.
they have to respond.
We'll keep you updated.
Keep
If
you updated on
Youngblood
that one.
persuades Taco Bell HQ to open a branch here in Ephraim.
You know,
I
they
think-
have one in Richfield. I don't understand
Yeah.
what makes Richfield so much better.
Yeah. No, you gotta fight for what you want.
You got to fight for your right to party.
Absolutely, as the Beastie Boys teach us every week. So, what are we going to talk about next?
Okay, so now that we've discussed what it's like to be single on Valentine's Day, Sir Liam, since he is dating a significant other,
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is going to give us a little bit of perspective what it was like to have a girlfriend on Valentine's Day. Because if I'm not mistaken, this was your first Valentine's Day with a significant other. Is that correct?
Yeah, first, pretty much proper Valentine's Day where I have someone to celebrate with. And I tell you what, I couldn't be more happy.
All right, good for you. Happy for you.
Yeah, we're having a great time. And so, no, this is my...
Single people are so freaking happy.
Just kidding. Let me tell my bit, okay? So this is my first go-around, in the proper Valentine's arena, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, well, gotta give her gifts, right?
Okay.
And
Just for our listeners, I don't know how many of you actually know Sir Liam personally, but he's not one to usually get excited a lot, but I wish you could see the look on his face right now. I've never seen him so giddy.
yeah, I'm really a mellow person, but Brittany just brings out the best in me, and I think that's why I love her so much. Anyway, shut up, dude. You're just a little bit bitter.
Okay, keep going.
So I need to give her some gifts, right? Don't have a ton of money, and I was looking at a floral shop, a local floral place here in Ephraim, and they were charging upwards of $100 for their most expensive bouquets and like $60 for their cheapest ones.
Good night.
So I said, forget that. Went to Walmart and procured, some goodies, all of her favorites. She likes watermelon, Sour Patch Kids candy. Not just like the regular Sour Patch Kids. There's too much variety in the Sour Patch Kids original for her. Just the watermelon is what she likes.
Do they do that? They do just watermelon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just watermelon flavor Sour Patch. She likes fruit roll-ups.
Okay.
Got her a
Fruit
box of those.
Toaster strudels? Is that
Exactly.
No.
You guessed
Really?
it. Yeah, I
Oh.
got her a nice box of toaster strudel because that is what she subsists on. Big fan of the old
lunch.
Pillsbury.
it? Still don't get it.
That Brittany. So I got her that, and I tried to use my meager talents and artistic ability to write a little song for her. So it was all very romantic.
Wow.
So I wrote her a song, and it was all very good. I went over to her house, gave her some flowers, gave her the gifts, and then later we went back to my place, and in her family they have a tradition of making homemade pizzas in the shape of hearts.
Okay.
And so that's what we did. We got some ingredients, and she instructed me in how to make a heart-shaped pizza. And you know what? It actually turned out.
It did.
Yeah, it actually kind of looked like a heart, and it tasted fine.
I don't know if I've ever seen you cook anything. Except soup.
Yeah, Brittany helped quite a bit. I had to knead the dough like a freaking Chef Boyardee. You should have seen me.
Attaboy.
And then we watched like the first hour and a half of James Cameron's Titanic.
Good.
You familiar with that film?
I
I've
am.
never seen it. Brittany wasn't quite in the mood to watch all 3 hours of it. I don't blame her. It's quite a long movie. So we watched a good portion of it, and then just finished off the night by enjoying some Martinelli's.
All right.
Some
I like it.
sparkling cider. And it was really fun. She gave me some very generous and thoughtful gifts that I adore.
Well, listeners, aren't we just also happy for Sir Liam? He definitely deserves the best.
It's good. Okay. But just as the overall perspective of having a girlfriend on Valentine's Day. So that's what I did. My perspective was definitely, different from other times when I've been single on Valentine's Day. I wouldn't say I loved Brittany more on Valentine's Day than any other day, but it was just brought to the forefront of my mind how much I appreciate her and how much I like having her around. And so that's just a nice reminder, to have it. You should be expressing your love to those you care about all the time. And, that's a whole nother discussion. Do we need holidays, to remind us as a society that we should care about each other?
Apparently we do.
Christmas is the same deal. Like, a lot of people give to charity. Like, do we need that reminder, in order to prompt us to give to charity? I don't know. That's a discussion for another day. But nevertheless, I was grateful that I was able to spend the day with such a nice person.
All right. Let me ask you this. How did it compare to previous Valentine's Day where you spent it by yourself?
Much better. I enjoyed this one much more.
Much better.
Oh, yes.
It'll be a Valentine's Day for the books.
Yes.
Okay.
For the proverbial books.
So do you think those who hate Valentine's Day, is it because they just don't have that significant other on Valentine's Day?
In almost every case I've encountered of people not liking Valentine's Day, it's because, like you mentioned, they don't have anyone to celebrate with, or they had a bad experience associated with Valentine's Day. Have you had the same experience? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well, I've never actually had the opportunity to spend Valentine's Day with... Well, okay, I did last night, kind of.
Well, that's a really nice segue into our next little discussion here. So if you recall, last week, Youngblood was having a little bit of an issue trying to decide what he was going to do for his date that night with this girl he's been attracted to for a little bit.
True.
And you went on your date after the show. How did that go?
Okay, that went really well. Unfortunately, I did not use the candlelight Mickey D's dinner.
Although it was a good suggestion.
Although it was a great suggestion. We went geocaching. And
very nice.
Then we went to Fred's in Manti.
Good place.
And got some cookie dough ice cream because we both very much enjoy that.
Awesome. Excellent date. So you go on this date, went all good. This is like your second date with her, right? At this point?
At that point, it was our second date.
Okay.
And at the end of the date, she said, I asked her if she wanted to go out again. She said she definitely would love to.
Is that a direct quote? Definitely would love to.
Okay, maybe I sugarcoat it a little bit. But she said that she would really like that.
Okay, so an affirmative answer to more
Yes,
dates.
it was firm. Okay, so
Valentine's Day is coming up, right? And you have to make a decision.
got to make a decision. Well, Monday's my birthday.
Uh-huh.
Wednesday, I work tonight, so that's not an option. And then Thursday, I'm leaving to go home for the long weekend. So the only night that leaves is Valentine's
Day. If you wanted to promptly take her out again, which she said she would like, it would fall coincidentally on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Okay.
So Monday comes around, I see her, and she's telling me about how sad she is that she doesn't have anyone to spend Valentine's Day with. And I'm like, okay, well, I would love to take you out to dinner on Valentine's Day. She's very excited.
Right on.
And I decided to do something a little risky, to show my love. I bought some flowers.
Oh.
Okay, I wrote a note, bought some flowers, left it in her apartment for her to find. And then later that night, we went out to Snow Dragon, the lean cuisine of Snow Dragon.
Personal favorite of mine.
Right. And unfortunately, we both had a sociology test today, so we had to study for that together. So I guess not intentionally, that ended up being part of the date. And
okay, so would you say all of these activities went well?
Yes, everything was going well to this point.
Okay,
everything's going very well.
Did she like the flowers?
She loved the flowers. It really boosted her day. She was having a stressful day. And here I am thinking, as I'm leaving the doorstep, because we're at her apartment, it's just me and her, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to pull the hitch. I'm going to go 90, she's going to go 10. Right?
Here we go.
And unfortunately, in my head I was thinking, if I ask her if she wants to go on another date and she says yes, I'm in the clear.
There you go. That's the, clear to take off.
Right. I'm good, right?
Clear airspace there to fly on in.
Like, of course. So I asked her that. She hesitates a little bit and says, I love going on dates with you, and I'd love to continue going on dates with you, but I can't promise it's going to go anywhere. But you're my favorite person.
Wow.
What is that?
Oh, no.
So, complete shutdown.
Yeah, it sounds like she knew exactly what your plan was.
Oh.
She knew exactly where this was going, and she said, nope.
Nothing. So, there I am.
Oh, man.
Shut down. And, I felt a little knife to the heart there. But
Yeah,
played it
that's
off well. And just gave her a hug goodbye and walked away. So, on Valentine's Day, I was, for the first time, friend zoned.
That's rough. I'm sure you're not the only one, but, it doesn't lessen the pain by any means.
But
Man.
I would like to thank all our listeners out there for their great involvement in helping me with date ideas.
Oh, yes, please. If any of you listeners out there want to wish your condolences to Youngblood, feel free to give us a call, 435-283-7007, or text KAGE to 66746 and tell Youngblood that everything's going to be all right.
Don't worry, I think I'm going to move on past it. Had some cookies, milk, a little bit better.
Awesome. So what's your plan going forward?
Plan going forward is, I guess, just keep looking, Gotta keep moving on. You can't, when you fall down, you can't just sit there. Gotta get back up.
Why do we fall, Bruce?
That's right.
Well, you're an inspiration to all those people out there just trying, looking for that love, that romance, even on a holiday such as Valentine's Day, when it's so prominent in everyone's minds, and it can be a little difficult. You're just a shining beacon of inspiration, and we appreciate that.
Please, you're making me blush.
Right on. So we've discussed what it's like to be single on Valentine's Day. I gave my thoughts on what it's like to be dating an individual. We're going to take it to break. In a few minutes, we'll have another guest on, hopefully.
Yes, he has not confirmed yet, but I'm hopeful in the next hour he will get back to us.
So in the next little bit, we're going to have a guest. Hopefully, we'll let you know. As you mentioned, he's married. It'll be an interesting perspective from a married person on how they celebrate Valentine's Day and how that may change your perspective a little bit. I'm looking forward to it.
I am as well. We'll get to that right after the break. If you have any more thoughts on Valentine's Day, we'd love to hear from you at 435-283-7007. You can text KAGE to 66746. We'd also love to hear your Valentine's experiences on our Facebook page at The Voice of the People.
I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
We'll be right back here on 88.9 FM The Cage. This is KAGJ FM Ephraim. And we're back here on The Voice of the People. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
This is Valentine's episode. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. We've been talking all about Valentine's Day, different ways people celebrate. We had a guest on previously, our good friend Garrett. Talked about being single on Valentine's Day. I discussed a little bit about what it's like to be dating someone during the holiday. And now we have another very special guest on the line with us now.
That's right, and now we have my good man, Wyatt DeGooyer, one of my best friends from high school. He's here to join us as a married student on Valentine's Day. How are you, Wyatt?
Good. How are you, Bryson?
I'm doing good. We're so happy to have you on the show. Glad that you could join us.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Wyatt, could you give us a little bit of perspective? Well, first introduce yourself. How long have you been married? Where do you live? What are you doing right now?
I have been married a little less than a year. I go to BYU, and I live in American Forks.
All right. Good. So this is your first Valentine's Day being married, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Give our listeners a little bit of a perspective on what it was like Valentine's Day, first time around as a married student.
Okay. First time around, not gonna lie, the pressures were kind of high,
Oh, wow.
They were pretty high. Not as high as they are when you're dating or when you're engaged or even when you're single to try and find a date. But the pressures are high because this is the first Valentine's Day that you're husband and wife.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And it was a great Valentine's Day as well. So I was very anxious, but also very happy at the same time.
Would you say that there's more pressure on Valentine's Day when you're dating someone or when you're married?
Definitely when you're married.
Really?
Really? Why do you think that is?
I would say so because dating, I think that you have a little bit more, this is going to sound bad, you have a little bit more forgiveness for each other. But there's more expectations with marriage, and so you better go all out when you're married.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you did for Brooke to make that expectation happen?
Today, well, I both love fruit, and so what I did is I went and I got her a nice big edible arrangement with chocolate-dipped strawberries, heart-shaped pineapples. I wrote on a nice card and got her a nice fancy balloon, took her out to eat, and got her some sugar cookies from Great Harvest.
I think you done pretty well there.
Oh,
my
wow.
friend.
Yeah, you hit all the bases there.
Where'd you take her to dinner?
I took her to Noodles & Company, because noodles is her favorite food.
All right.
That's a good place.
Good work, Wyatt. So we had Garrett Harris on earlier, one of our good friends from high school, and he discussed what it was like to be single. He talked about how he wished he would have had someone to rub his back with those acrylic nails when he's leaning over. Can you tell us what that feels like as a man who has a woman?
It's great, and it's not just scratching the back, if you know what I mean.
That's right. You're hearing this right here on the Voice of the People.
Those acrylic nails are pretty fine.
Okay. All right. I like it. Would you say that you've kind of set a standard now for future Valentines? Do you think that she's going to expect you to go this all out from now on?
Oh, most definitely. The first Valentine's Day is important because you're setting the minimum bar. So you don't want to go too high. If you go too high, then it's going to have to be like that for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way. When you're married, you're in the game, you know? And so, yeah, you have that expectation set. And so you got to meet that or else face the consequences.
Definitely.
All right. So now that you've experienced all three different versions of what it's like on Valentine's Day, as a single man, as one who has a girlfriend, and now one who has a wife, you know, which way would you take it? What's the best way to go?
I take it with the wife. There's nothing like spending your Valentine's Day with your sweetheart and your best friend.
Oh, good answer.
That's good. Would you say it makes Valentine's Day hold a little bit more meaning in your heart?
To be married?
Yes, to be married versus dating or single.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more, I don't know, you kind of lose the goo-goo goggles and you focus more on what's important when you're married.
No,
All right.
definitely. And I think that's a good aspect of Valentine's Day. You know, it is not just about romance. It's about, you know, caring about each other and realizing how important we are in each other's lives. And I bet being, you know, married and having that sort of commitment in your life definitely brings out that aspect of the holiday, at least.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Wyatt, other than the goo goo gaga and love of marriage, what's the best part of being married?
Best part of being married?
Yep.
Oh, man, there's a lot. I mean, I'm happy every day. I mean, it's hard sometimes because it's a different lifestyle, one that, like, you know, you never really experienced before, but I can say that I'm happy every day. And I don't have to deal with roommate issues. You're actually attracted to your roommate in a marriage situation. And it's pretty nice, you know?
That sounds nice. What I wouldn't give to not have to clean up roommate's crap and ramen for the rest of my life.
I would pay a very high price.
Oh, well, Wyatt, do you have anything else that you'd like to leave with our listeners before you take off?
Nothing other than marriage is great. I have the best wife ever.
Well said, my friend. We appreciate you joining us here on The Voice of the People, and hope to hear again from you soon.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you later.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. We'll see you around. Right on.
That was our man, Wyatt DeGooyer, married man of 21 years old, and gave us his perspective on what it's like to be married on Valentine's Day.
You just had a birthday, right? We were discussing that.
That's correct, on February 13th.
The big 22, right?
22.
Said he's 21. And
That's
he's
right.
married. How does that make you feel?
Well, Wyatt and I are a month apart, so yes,
So
he
you're
is.
close.
So we're close. But Wyatt and Brooke, give you a little story on background on their experience. They were high school sweethearts,
Oh, that's nice.
and both served LDS missions and came back and married each other. So
Well, it just sounds like the fairy tale ending then.
that's right. If only we all could have that, right?
You know what? I'm pretty satisfied with my current situation.
I know you
More
are.
than I've ever been.
Well, we're all happy for you.
Okay, I just think you need to stop being bitter. That's the problem here.
You know what? Listeners, if you have any comments on the Wyatt DeGooyer interview, we'd love to hear from you at 435-283-7007. Or you can text us, text KAGE to 66746. And we'd also appreciate it if you liked us on Facebook at The Voice of the People and made your comments.
Right on. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more Valentine's traditions and common celebrations, whether or not we agree with them, what sorts of things we would do to celebrate Valentine's Day. We'll be right back. I'm Surly M.
And I'm Youngblood, and you're listening to The Voice of the People.
And we're back here on The Voice of the People on 88.9 FM The Cage. I'm Surly M.
And I'm Youngblood.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've been talking about Valentine's Day.
Ah, yes. What a great holiday it is.
You know, I think you would have a very different attitude about Valentine's Day if all went like you wanted it to yesterday.
You know, that's true. I might be a little more enthusiastic.
Can't let one little experience ruin the whole holiday for you.
Well, let's just say I'm glad it's over.
Fair enough.
What'd you think about the interview with Wyatt DeGooyer?
Oh, I thought it was very interesting. You could tell that he loved his wife very much and that he was very enthusiastic about the fact that being married is the best way to experience Valentine's Day. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would have to imagine that would be the best way to experience Valentine's Day. I think out of all our experiences we've heard today, Garrett was by far the most
Romantic, maybe?
maybe hurt that he didn't have a date. Well, obviously, like the other two had, you and Wyatt had dates, but he, you notice how you two were very positive about Valentine's Day, and Garrett, not so much. So I think, like you said, that having that significant other does play a large role in that.
Yeah, perhaps.
Which I guess isn't any rocket science, but
So what do you think about traditions of Valentine's Day? What are commonly observable traditions? What do people do for each other on Valentine's Day?
well, you have the common give you some flowers.
Okay, flowers. I was thinking about this. Why flowers?
I don't know, why do girls get all sappy about flowers? I would be like,
I think part of it has to do with tradition, right? It's just
Okay.
like an obligatory thing because, like, oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day, you gotta get the flowers.
and flowers are a symbol of love, maybe. Depending
Well,
on the
why
kind
though,
of flower.
right? Flowers are just like a plant. I mean, they're nice, they're pretty. I think they're significant because they're temporary, right? You gotta get that vase, put them in water, or you gotta put them in water soon after buying them, or else they'll wilt and they'll die, right? Just like love, right? You gotta give
oh
it.
my
You
god.
gotta put that effort in. You gotta give each other what you need, or else your relationship will wilt and become stale.
Well, love continues to die for me then, because every time
Oh,
I've given
come
a
on.
girl flowers,
Boo.
every time I've given a girl flowers, they end up, breaking it off later on.
Well, did they put the flowers in water?
Yeah. Well, not figuratively, they
The
did not.
metaphorical flowers we're talking about here, Youngblood.
No, seriously, I have a curse. Every time I give a girl flowers, things go south.
Okay, maybe flowers aren't your thing. Fine. What other traditional things can you do on Valentine's Day to show you
Okay,
love?
there's the classic chocolates.
Chocolates. Seems that females enjoy chocolates like way more than males do.
I know.
Maybe that's like a hormonal thing.
I think it is. I think think studies have proven. I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
I'd have to verify that. We could look that up, but you're right. It does seem.
I mean,
slim
I'm a
that
dude,
way.
and I still think chocolate's freaking good. If you want to give me chocolate, dear listener, then I would by all means accept. But I think, yeah, chocolate is it's a good symbol of affection. You know, it's very sweet, very rich. Females seem to enjoy it, so you know,
That's true.
chocolates, why not?
Okay, so you have your flowers, your chocolates. There's always
Dinner dates.
dinner dates, stuffed animals.
Yeah, I've never quite got on board with the stuffed animals. I think it's a little childish.
You know, I used to work at a skating rink in high school, known as Classic Fun Center,
Right.
and they had a large gorilla that was like the biggest prize.
What did you have to do to
And-
win the large gorilla?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many tickets that thing was. I think it was like 5,000 tickets.
Wow.
And
Oh, that's a lot of rounds of skee ball.
yeah, it was the highest. It was the highest prized item, and there were some people who just that you could, instead of redeeming the tickets, you could just pay for the
Item.
The item.
So how much did the gorilla cost in standard,
Oh my
currency?
gosh. I think it cost, and I bet you it was close to $100.
Wow. Okay.
And it was huge. Like, it was bigger than any human being.
Any human being that's ever existed.
It was like King Kong fell from the sky.
Oh wow. Okay.
Big purple gorilla.
All right. So the point being,
The point being that stuffed animals are the way to some girls' hearts.
a giant purple gorilla is the way to the heart. Right.
Well, yeah, so that's why I shared the experience. That's what it reminded me of, that stuffed animal.
Okay. Okay. We mentioned dinner dates, right?
Dinner dates?
Why does it have to be fancy?
You know, because if you take them to Taco Bell, what does that say? What does that say? How much I love you? A whole taco's worth.
See, here's where I don't really agree. This is where kind of popular belief in society has taken over the meaning of the holiday, right? Because we're a consumer-based society, right? Very materialistic, so we associate money with how much you love someone, which is not the case. I think
Okay,
we
that's
can
not
agree.
true. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying that, I wouldn't love that. But
I mean, if you got taken to Taco Bell, you'd be thrilled.
oh, that'd be great. But you can't tell me that you take a hot girl out to dinner and she's gonna be okay with you going to Taco Bell instead of, Cheesecake Factory.
Right. But I'm trying to say you can't treat that as an accurate representation of how much you care about.
Okay, so
it's
why
important.
would they be so mad then? If I took them to Taco Bell, why would that be?
Have you taken a girl to Taco Bell?
No, because I'm not that stupid.
Well, I mean, Snow Dragon is just like the next step above. They have quality food for a reasonable price, but it's not like a gourmet dining by any means.
I want you to pretend for 1 second that you're not dating Brittany.
Okay?
That
That's
you
hard
have,
to do.
I know.
Makes me sad.
Okay, all right. Well, I just need to stay focused here for a second. Or maybe, you know what? Why don't we envision back to when you first met Brittany, okay?
Right.
First time you're going out to dinner, and let's just pretend you took her to Mickey D's here in Ephraim.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what kind of impression does that set for you?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not saying that the phenomena doesn't exist. I'm just saying I disagree.
Okay, well, I understand
But-
you disagree, but I'm
in
telling you the
this-
standards that have been set in society.
Okay, they're there for a reason. I understand. But in this theoretical situation, I think my good looks and irresistible charm would have won over in the end.
Wow, you better. Well, for you it did, but for other people, you better hope you're really hot if you're gonna take her to McDonald's.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So we got the flowers, not in your case. We got chocolate, stuffed animals, the nice dinner date.
Besides desserts, what other things can you give? Roses? We already talked about flowers.
Some of which are not appropriate to talk about on public radio. I think that's what most people preoccupy
Oh
themselves
yeah.
with
Oh
on
yeah.
that
Why don't you
kind
give
of
our
thing.
listeners a statistic?
Oh yeah, the interesting statistic is the most birthdays at least in the United States, per capita are in November, which incidentally is 9 months from February. So if you just do the math, you can figure why that might be.
Well, most babies are conceived during that time, apparently.
Apparently.
Okay.
And,
well, now we know.
I mean, I've not been a participant in any sort of that raunchy activity, just so my listeners are reassured. I for sure as heck don't think you were either.
Are you sure?
I mean, for married couples, I'm sure our friend earlier had a fantastic evening.
Yeah, he seemed pretty peppy.
Yeah, he was pretty chipper about the whole prospect. I wonder why.
Good for him.
But the whole point is these are all expressions of love, right?
Correct?
What? You know, maybe we could start a trend. What are some expressions of love that aren't commonly associated with Valentine's Day that we could start doing on Valentine's Day?
Whatever happened to singing grams? The Valentine gram?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those. They were more popular in public schools, so I wasn't,
Well-versed in that.
Yeah, I wasn't a participant in any of those.
I had some friends in high school, and if you wanted to do a Valentine gram to someone, you had to, pay a couple bucks for it.
Right.
They would go in and sing to the person in their class, their, 7th period or something. And I had some friends that messed with me one time and submitted my name.
Uh-oh.
And so, quote unquote, there was a significant other apparently sent a Valentine gram to me.
Did you think it was legit?
I did for a second, but then I knew it was just too good to be true.
And you're like, oh no.
And I realized it was my buddies, and I didn't live that one down for a while.
I also remember a lot of that happening during formal dance season, prom and homecoming and all that. Is that the case?
The Valentine gram?
No, just singograms in general.
Yeah, that does happen. It's not as popular, but...
Well, you could do what I did and compose your own singogram.
Well,
and
some of
make
us
it that much
aren't
more
as
heartfelt.
musically gifted
And that's
as
fine.
others.
Brittany, for example, she gave me some very sweet homemade gifts that I really, really like. So I think the homemade ideas and gifts are that much more significant, right?
I'd
Does that
really
make
like to
sense?
hear Brittany's take on this whole Valentine's Day thing.
Well, the show's almost over, and she hates talking on the phone, so we're kind of out of luck there.
Okay, well, I still think she'd, if she really cared about you, she'd be willing to phone in.
All right, you heard it. There's the gauntlet thrown down, I guess.
For all I know, though, she's eating a toaster strudel right now for lunch.
She probably is. Oh, boy. But yeah, the whole point is expressions of love, right? And so let's think about this. What special talents or abilities do you have that you could impart to someone that you care about on Valentine's Day?
Maybe we can go out and hit some BP, some batting practice. And I'd have her go shag the balls after I hit them. And
What does
then
that
each
mean?
one, shag the balls means after I hit them, she goes and collects them.
Oh.
And I'd write on each baseball, a different letter. It eventually spell I love you.
Oh, that's sweet.
I just came up with that on the spot. I think I'm going to try it.
A nice little anagram.
Yeah, just put it together.
She has to
Yeah.
do all the work. Collect the balls, figure out the anagram,
And,
just for a nice little message.
That's right. All while I'm singing a Valentine gram.
Oh man, that would be wonderful. See, now we're thinking. Now we're thinking we can pull those here.
Yes, I like it. Well, I think we should go ahead and take it a break.
Right.
But when we come back, we are going to recap what's happened on the show and tell you what we've learned. You're
Absolutely.
listening to the voice of the people.
Here on 88.9 FM, The Cage. And we're back. Here on The Voice of the People on 88.9 FM, The Cage. Thank you for joining us these past 2 hours. We just took a wonderful journey through the land of Valentines, didn't we?
That's right. Here with my co-host, Surly M. And all day we've been talking about Valentine's Day and what it's like being single on Valentine's Day, dating someone on Valentine's Day, and being married to someone on Valentine's Day.
And so, what did you learn today, Youngblood?
Today I learned that I don't want to spend another Valentine's Day alone.
No, never
Or
again.
getting friend zoned. Maybe I should say that. Another Valentine's Day getting friend zoned. But
What
you'll
if,
learn.
what if it was just like a completely neutral Valentine's Day? Like nothing happened. Would that be fine?
Nothing happened? That would have been fine. I think I would have rather taken that than the shutdown.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, you and me both. I learned that you need to have a better attitude about Valentine's
Okay,
Day,
you know
'cause
what, this
every
isn't
time I
about-
like to say how much I
You know,
enjoyed my
who's usually
day.
the one with the bad attitude? Not me. You.
Well, my name is Surly, and usually that's my persona, but I just really enjoyed yesterday, and I don't like the fact that because you had a bad day, you feel the need to spread your disgruntlement upon me.
You know, it has nothing to do with you, but I thought you were being a little sappy on the air when you were talking about
Okay.
your experience.
That's fine.
You know, for those who don't know, maybe you should tell them what surly means.
Surly? It's a common word.
Well, some of our listeners aren't well educated.
No,
They're turkey
I think
farmers.
I think that's an insult on there. Surly just means like grumpy, essentially. Grumpy or like sarcastic.
Which fits your name well, Sir Liam.
Exactly. That's the joke. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. You can head on over to our Facebook page. The Voice of the People will be uploading it now. Actually, we're getting a good system down of uploading the audio to YouTube if you want to revisit all your favorite Voice of the People moments. Again, that Facebook page is The Voice of the People. You can feel free to call the station 435-283-7007 at any time to make a request, or you can text KAGE to 66746 as well.
That's right. That's all for now. But join us next Wednesday from noon to 2 for the next Voice of the People.
You're listening to 88.9 FM, The Cage,
Here with Youngblood
and Sir Liam.
on The Voice of the People.